Hey, Ashley, I am in Springfield. I'm at Bay State Children's Hospital. It's the only dedicated children's hospital in Western Massachusetts. And kicking off today starts 3 days of incredible giving. It's the 94.7 WMAS telethon, and it's for a great cause. You know, since 2002, they've raised nearly $2 million. For what you see behind you, frankly, it's the play deck, and it's so much, and it does so much for the children, and it's so easy to donate. If you give $20 a month, that's 66 cents a day. You know what you can do for 66 cents a day? You can't even get a cup of coffee for 66 cents a day. So call right now, 794-1111. We're going to be here all hour long, and now we're going to talk to someone who's going to be here for 3 days. His name is Chris Kellogg from WMAS. Chris, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Good to see you again, Seth.
So we're in the play deck. Tell us what we're seeing here today.
Well, the play deck is a great place for kids to come while they're here having surgery or other procedures, whether it be for a broken leg or even a spinal tap. And it's a way for kids to really come in here and enjoy themselves and to take their minds off of what might be going on behind some of the surgical doors. So that's why we're here. Children's Miracle Network supports things like this play deck, which not a lot of hospitals have. I mean, Bay State really focuses on the children here, and they treat the children a lot differently than the adults. They make it more warm and fuzzy. When they come in, a child life specialist greets them. Some of them are even brought into surgery in a little red wagon. I mean, these are the kind of things that Bay State does that really goes above and beyond. I mean, it's a great hospital to begin with, but with your donations, it makes it an even better place for kids to come.
Well, this play deck is really unique, and you see people who've come in today, and the kids. We have Jacob, he's a 5-year-old, and he just walked in here, and his eyes lit up because there's Spider-Man on the walls, there's action figures, there's kids running around. It's a great place.
There you go. He's actually photobombing our interview.
Right, and we're going to talk to him later in the show.
He's awesome.
Chris, you're a father now. How has that changed your mindset? Because you've been doing this for about 5 years.
Yeah, I had a baby last year. She's almost a year old, and it changes you. Now I hear some of these stories, and I really get a tear to my eye because I can't imagine for those of us that have kids. I mean, to imagine our own kid having to go through this process is just horrifying, and this is what some parents and families are going through. That's why Bay State is so dedicated to making it a better experience. I can't really say a good experience, but they're making it as good as they can be when kids are here. And a lot of us take our child's health for granted. Some of these parents that are here, they never thought they would be in this situation, but they are, because it's always, well, that's not my kid. That's never going to happen to me. And in just one phone call or one diagnosis, you could be in the same situation. That's why it's so important to back. It's almost like an insurance policy. If something happened to your child, of course you want the best care and the best treatment and the best caring that you can get.
Well, and we can give kids and parents that care. All we have to do is donate. It's so easy to do. The number 794-1111. Why do you think that everybody should donate?
Because, like I said, it's a good insurance policy. The children here are awesome. One thing I wanted to say about the kids here, a lot of adults may whine and when they go through surgery. These kids are strong kids. They are strong kids. They come out of this with a positive attitude. A lot of them don't even understand that there's any different way to live besides spinal taps and other things. So you really get a feeling of inspiration from these children, and that's why it's so important to call. Call that number and really donate, because your money's going to go very far.
And if you do it right now, it's a power hour. Is that right, or power half hour?
Power burst is what we're calling it, ladies and gentlemen.
So it's a power burst. So if you call right now, it's what, doubled?
I do believe so, yeah.
And it's by Health New England, right?
By Health New England, they're doing the power burst, so we're very excited, and that's why you need to call now. Don't put it off. Do it now. Don't
You've
forget.
got nothing better to do today than to call 794-1111 or check them out online and donate. Give early, give often. BayStateHealth.org/Radiothon. Welcome back to Mass Appeal, everyone. I want to implore you to multitask right now. Don't just watch Mass Appeal. Simultaneously, pick up your phone, dial 794-1111, and give to the 94.7 WMAS Radiothon for Bay State Children's Hospital. It's the only hospital in Western Massachusetts dedicated purely to children, and they can use your help for places like this play deck, and it's really a home for children who need it most. And now we have one of those children. His name is Jacob Daniels, and we're joined by his parents, Maureen and Perry. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming on the show.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Take us through that moment that must be paralyzing for every parent to hear the word that your child really needs help.
Well, I got the call at work from her. She was at the hospital with him, and that's a day I won't forget, for sure.
Yeah, we actually, Jake had not been feeling great for a couple of weeks, and but nothing major, and decided to take him in to see the physician. So he went in for a 1:15 appointment. By 3 o'clock, he was diagnosed with leukemia, and they immediately sent us here. We're from the Berkshires, so we were diagnosed in Pittsfield, and we were here by 6:30 that day to start a new adventure in life. So, and we were welcomed with open arms. This is a wonderful hospital, and we've got fabulous stories from wonderful people that have helped us along the way.
Well, that's what it seems like. It seems like if you can get any through line from a day like today, it's that everyone comes in at a paralyzing, scary time in their life when they don't know what the next day or week or month will bring. But then by the end of it, for the most part, everyone goes home happy and cared for. Now, what was it like for your son to be here, and what was it like for him to have a spot like the play deck?
Oh, this was invaluable, and even the child life people here too as well were just phenomenal. It was like walking and having family members sitting here waiting for you all ready to greet you and help take care of you. They knew he'd be coming in, and before we got here, they would have toys set up in the room for him, and all of his favorite things as they got to know him that they knew he'd be looking for when he got here. They'd be sitting there waiting for us before we even got in the door.
So Jacob, Jacob, he can see me on TV. How are you feeling today? You feeling good?
Yeah.
Now, I know that when you got here today, you turned the corner, and behind you, Hasbro has provided all these amazing toys. What toy did you pick out?
Angry Birds Star Wars.
And do you having fun so far in the play deck? Now, why is it, Maureen Perry, that everyone out there should donate? It's something that people always say, donate to this cause, donate to that cause. Why Bay State? Why this play deck? Why the Children's Miracle Network?
I think because of the great work they do. And there's one phrase that we use and we hear an awful lot is they're giving more birthdays. You know, Jacob's going to be able to have more birthdays, and a lot of kids in the same position are going to be able to have more birthdays than maybe otherwise they wouldn't be able to have.
Well, Bay State really helps give the gift of life. It's given to Jacob. Jacob, he gives the fiercest high fives. Can I get one more high five? Oh! It's almost painful. The boy is so strong. So thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Jacob, you're cool. You're like the coolest kid I know. So all you need to do is help. It's easy, it's painless. Call 794-1111. It doesn't matter if you donate $1 million or $2. You're helping to create places like the Play Deck. You're helping to invest in new technology, and you're really helping to give the gift of life. Hello again, we are back live at the Children's Play Deck. We're at Bay State Children's Hospital in Springfield. It's an amazing place here. It really helps to put children and families at ease in a time when they need it the most, and you need to give the most that you can right now. All you need to do, call 794-1111. Donate right now. Health New England is going to double your donation, so call early, call often, because you really are helping to save lives here in the Pioneer Valley. And now we're going to talk to Dr. Lindsay Grossman. She's the chair of the pediatrics department here at Bay State. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you all for joining us in the Radiothon. A lot of fun.
Oh, it is. And now behind you is some pretty impressive stuff. Now, this is straight from Disney, is that right?
From Disney, some of the people who helped develop all the Disney characters and the Disney play parks, game parks, helped us come up with characters to help us better get the message of what we do at Children's Hospital. So this is really sort of their TV premiere, actually. They are meant to be able to appeal to kids of pretty much all ages and all backgrounds, and to help us, we'll be using them in all kinds of ways to get the message across that this is a safe place for children, and help them feel comfortable, and help us minimize the negative effects that illness can have on a child.
Well, just walking in here, you feel at ease and you feel comfortable. And if I was a 5-year-old, my eyes would just bug right out of my head, because there's so much to do, and you care so much about the children, and it makes something that's a little unnerving a little easy for both children and families.
Absolutely. Everything that we do, none of the painful procedures are ever done in a child's room. That's a safe place. We have people called child life workers whose job it is specifically to minimize the negative effects on the kids. And all of the staff, everyone from the cleaning people up to the nurses, the doctors, the medical assistants, everyone is trained and of a mind to keep the spirit of the child in the forefront, to realize that their job is the child first. And that's what we're all about at Bay State Children's Hospital.
Now, Dr. Grossman, you work tirelessly all year long. There are 4,000 births every year, roughly, that take place here. And you're the only dedicated children's hospital in Western Massachusetts. So everybody out there they're coming and they're calling and they want to donate today. As the chair of pediatrics, what does every single dollar mean to you?
Oh, every dollar is just so very, very valuable. It allows us to buy technology like we might not be able to have. It has allowed us in the last year to build a pediatric intensive care unit that's just down the hallway that is absolutely second to none. It allowed us to build a pediatric emergency department that opened just in December that is also second to none. We're in the process of building an ambulatory building for children with subspecialty problems that's going to be second to none. It allows us to develop programs that we otherwise would not be able to do. It's just so very important. And what amazes me, despite the downturn in the economy and the fact that we don't exactly live in an extraordinarily wealthy part of the United States, the people, the community here in Western Massachusetts supports us so much, and we are so very grateful. We simply would not be able to do everything that we are able to do without that help.
Dr. Grossman, thank you so much for joining us and inviting you here.
My pleasure.
And yeah, I totally agree with what you said. Western Massachusetts, maybe we don't have a lot, but people, when it's time to pour out wealth and to donate, people do it. So do it today, 794-1111. Make a donation, because you never know when that moment in your life is going to come as a parent, when you get that call that your child is in trouble and needs help. And wouldn't it be great to know that you have a place that you can feel comfortable bringing your children and your family to? Don't go anywhere. There's more Mass Appeal coming up right after this. Welcome back to Mass Appeal, everyone. We are in Springfield. We're at the Bay State Children's Hospital. And I wish you could come down and check this out, because it's amazing the amount of children and parents that come into this place. And it's a place that's really helped, mostly funded by you. So call right now if you haven't called already. It's 794-1111 to make a donation. You can always go online, baystatehealth.org/radiothon. And now I want to introduce you to another person who is really helped by your donation. Her name is Kristen, and she's a nurse at the PICU. Kristen, thank you so much for chatting with us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, we were talking earlier, there's a lot of isms out there. There's the NICU, there's the PICU. What is the PICU?
The PICU is a pediatric intensive care unit where we care for critically ill children ranging in ages from 0 through 22 years of age here in the Western Mass community.
And you're a nurse, who's recently won an award. Tell us a little bit about it. I feel so excited to talk to you about it.
Oh, geez, thank you. It was a privilege and an honor. I won an award here in the Massachusetts area, provided by the March of Dimes, and it was Nurse of the Year and Educator Award here, and my manager, Leslie Murphy, nominated me for that award, and it was an absolute honor, and I couldn't have done it without the people that I work with here.
Now, speaking of the people here, you work so closely with so many different children of all ages and sizes and varying ailments. What's it like to have a place like the play deck? Because not a lot of hospitals have a place that's so inviting and friendly.
Having a place here, like in our children's hospital, for the play deck for the children and the family here, is absolutely wonderful. The children and the family talk about this play area, and our individual rooms that we have here in our pediatric intensive care unit, which has been newly designed, is absolutely wonderful. And we can't thank the community enough for donating the toys and the video games that we have here in this area. The children and the families have a place to play with their siblings, and the families that can come and visit with them while they're here in the hospital.
And all these resources, and it's not just the play deck, it's the technologies and the things that you're able to use. It makes your job easier, and you can focus on what's more important. It's caring for the patient.
Absolutely. While we're caring for the patients here in the pediatric intensive care unit, we're focusing on the critically ill patients, and sometimes the families and their family that's visiting them need a break, and they need kind of an area where they can take a little break away from when we're doing things to their children. So it's an area where they can have a little relaxation, which is nice, and the Welcome Center is an area for them to do that as well.
Kristen, thank you so much for chatting with us today, and congratulations on your award. You're obviously doing very impressive things here in the Pioneer Valley. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me, and thank you to everyone in the community for supporting us.
Well, that's exactly what you can do. Donate early, donate often. Just imagine being a parent to a child who spent the night here. There's half a dozen children that spent the night here last night. There are dozens more that are going to use this space every day, and your donations help make this space just a little bit better. So give often, give early, 794-1111, or you can check them out online, baystatehealth.org. Do it today. A little means a lot to this place. But for now, I'm going to toss it back to Ashley and Alora for our Pet of the Week. Welcome back to Mass Appeal, everyone. We're in Springfield. We're Bay State Children's Hospital. You've got to give. It's the time for the 94.7 WMAS Radiothon. They've raised nearly $2 million, but it doesn't matter how much money you donate today, just that you donate, because a little bit of money can make a whole lot of difference. So call now, 794-1111, or check them out online, baystatehealth.org. You might know someone who's been afflicted. We've met Maureen and Perry, the parents of Jacob today, who's been affected and who've used these facilities. We've talked to Dr. Lindsay Grossman, the chair of pediatrics, and she told you how important these facilities are to the health and well-being of children. You should call now. You should call all day long. You should tell your friends about it too. 794-1111. Your donations can really make a difference. And I mean, just to add some light to the situation, Miss Massachusetts 2013 is here. She's got a wheelbarrow full of toys. They've been donated by Hasbro, and she's going to walk up and down the halls and give them away. We've got Chris Kellogg here from 94.7 WMAS, the Kellogg crew. Chris, it's touching. It's being here, it makes you feel warm and fuzzy.
Yeah, and I mean, talking with the families live on the radio too, it's incredible what these parents and these kids go through. But you know what? Even with parents who lost a child, they still come here year after year to talk about how great this hospital is. I mean, that really says something about the people that work here and the Children's Miracle Network as well. That's why it's so important, I think, for the community to come together. I mean, it's a community hospital. They never turn a child away. I mean, this is the kind of spirit we're talking about here. So we're asking people to call the number 413-794-1111. Please do it now. Don't put it off so you forget about it later.
And it's one of the things I love about Western Massachusetts. We come together for these situations after the tornado, after the snowstorm. We always come together, and I think we can do it one more time. Let's break that $2 million mark. We can do it.
Yeah, let's do it. And I mean, in the news, a lot of tragedies we've heard about over the last year or so, and the whole pay it forward thinking has come apart. People doing great things for somebody else, and it just continues on. Well, this is a chance for somebody to call in and pay it forward and make a miracle happen.
Chris, you do a tremendous job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all in advance for donating. It's easy. Once again, 794-1111. There's power hours all the time. Your donations will get doubled. It's so easy. And I know they've raised nearly $2 million, but even if you just want to donate $10, it really makes all the difference. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to toss it back to the studio.